Now, before I get started on today's video, I want to dedicate the first minute out to Israel Vasquez. I want to say rest in peace to him and God bless his family. I send my condolences out to his family. Great action-packed fighter. Most notable wins. I think he had like 4 fights with Rafael Marquez. I want to say they're like 2-2. Yeah, they did have 4. I think they were like 2-2. You guys gotta bear with me if I'm wrong. Like I go off the dome with my videos, so you can fact check me if you want. That's cool. But you know, you got a victory over guys like Johnny Gonzalez, Rafael Marquez as well. You know, so I just want to give send my condolences out and go ahead and do a 10 count for Israel Vasquez, and may he rest in peace. So if you guys can just bear with me this next minute for this 10 count for Israel Vasquez. May you rest in peace. All right, now, what's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know, boxing. I definitely have to do stuff like that, man, to especially the greats, man. It's a sad day. If you don't know, Israel Vasquez lost his life to cancer. Once again, man, I want to send my condolences and prayers out to his family. And may the champ rest in love, peace, and just look over the sport as well, man, because we need more fighters like you, brother. But anyways, man, listen, I was gonna say Kendrick Lamar. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. He's actually coming out here to Arizona in May, so I'll definitely be going and attending that. But anyways, man, listen. We're here talking about Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis has said after next year he plans on retiring. He plans on hanging up the gloves. Now, I'm gonna show you the clip of where he said that at, but I'm gonna also go ahead and I'm gonna also give you my opinion on it. Because first and foremost, I'm gonna be honest with you. With him saying that lets me know that Gervonta Davis was never in the sport for legacy. He was in the sport to get the biggest pay and get out of the sport. And you know, well, let me go ahead and play the clip before, because I'll mess around and go get to rambling and I won't ever play. Let me play the clip that backs up what I've just realized, because I realized this once I first saw the headlines of him saying he was going to retire, and then I actually heard him say it in the interview. I came up with this assumption, but then he also said something else in the interview that confirmed my assumption. So I want you guys to hear what he says, and then we'll go ahead and talk about it.
After next year, I'm out of it.
After our second fight, you're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
All right, I'll go to Lamont Roach Sr. over here.
Now, that was him confirming, his retirement. Now, this is what I really want you to hear that allows me to, kind of backs up my assumption that Tank really was not in this for the legacy, but more so in this just for the checks, for the big checks or whatnot.
Me and fighters, y'all fail to realize, me and fighters are different. We way different. I don't look at it, I don't care about belts, and I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about none of that.
you worry about taking out your contract?
Yeah, I worry about getting my money and getting out of here. That's what I worry about.
Well, so I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Being a Tank Davis fan and spending all these years going to bat and going to war for Tank, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. That was disappointing hearing that. And for one, before I even heard that interview, when I saw the headlines of Tank saying that he was gonna retire after next year, I automatically knew, like right then and there, I was just like, bro, Tank really is not in it for his legacy then. And this is why I say that. This is why I say that. Tank. Now, first of all, let me say he could be pulling a Floyd Mayweather, right? If you guys remember, Floyd Mayweather retired after he fought, I believe it was Ricky Hatton in December of 2007. He said he was gonna retire or whatnot, and I remember Larry Merchant was saying like, dog, it's so much money on the table. Like, why would you leave the sport right now? You still got, at that time, you still had Miguel Cotto, you still had Paul Williams, you had Shane Mosley, you had it was so many fighters like that. Kermit Cintron, I believe at the time, like it was so many fighters that was on the table, like for Antonio Margarito, that was another one, even though some of those fights never happened. But it was just so much money on the table. Andre Berto at that particular time when he was coming up, why did you want to retire now? But the difference between Floyd retiring at that point and Tank retiring now is that even at that point, Floyd still had a Hall of Fame resume. I think he was like 30. He at the time he was like 39-0 with 25 knockouts. And he had a Hall of Fame resume already, beating the likes of Ricky Hatton, De La Hoya, Sean Bay Mitchell, Zab Judah, Diego. I said Diego. I was finna say DeMarcus Corley at that time, because DeMarcus Corley was actually a really good fighter at the end. Lovemore Endow, who was like 32-1 with 31 knockouts. Diego Corrales, Gennaro Hernandez. Floyd had fought so many, Arturo Gatti. He had fought so many great fighters. So he had a Hall of Fame career already, and he was like a 5 division world champion at that time. So he really, if he would have retired at that point, he would have been a Hall of Famer already. Now, luckily, he came back and gained more money in the time that he came back than he did in his entire career. From him in the time he came back, from the 10 fights or the 11 fights that he had coming back, he made more money in those 11 fights. You remember, because he was like 39-0 with 25 knockouts. When he came back to fight Marquez and Shane Mosley and trying to think of it in order, Shane Mosley and Victor Ortiz, Miguel Cotto, Robert Guerrero, Canelo Alvarez, Maradona twice, Manny Pacquiao. I think I'm missing some. I might have skipped over somebody. Forgive me if I did. Manny Pacquiao, Andre Berto, and Conor McGregor. In those 11 fights, he made more money than in the 39 fights of his career. So it's a good thing he did come back. And I'm saying maybe Tank does that, right? Because Tank is still young. Like, Tank is only 30 years old. So maybe he does like a 2-year hiatus like how Floyd did and comes back. But it's like, bro, it's so much money on the table. Why are you deciding to leave now? To me, in my opinion, and he shouldn't be mad about this after what he said. He only said he's in it for the big checks, which I'm not mad at. Of course, I want you to get your money and enjoy the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? You are an entertaining fighter, but it's like, bro, you still got so much. Like, bro, the biggest fight in boxing that I personally want to see is him versus Devin Haney. And I've been calling that before, the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight. I want to see you fight Devin Haney. I want to see you fight Teofimo Lopez, because I know that you can beat these guys, bro. I want to see you. I want to see you fight Lomachenko. Now, granted, this here recently wasn't on Tank's fault. It wasn't Tank's fault, but you know, you had opportunities. Like it's just so much money to be made. Why leave all that money on the table? And your legacy will you know, your legacy will grow with that. You know, technically speaking, Tank is really just a 2-division champ. In 1 division, he was given that belt based off the fact that Devin Haney relinquished all the belts. So it's like, why? I'm not understanding why you would want to just go out on this. Well, I am understanding now, because you don't care about the legacy, you only care about the money. You know what I'm saying? So it all makes sense now, but it's still one of them things like, damn, bro, like, you know, I really wanted you to I don't know, I just wasn't expecting that, man. I wasn't expecting that, dog. Like, I really wanted you to, you know, get some of these big names under your belt, and you know, Keyshawn Davis, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's just so many fights out there for you. Shakur Stevenson, like, you know, Williams Zapata. Love for you to get that. I would have loved it. It looks like Shakur might end up getting that, but I would have loved for you to get that Williams Zapata under your belt, man. Like, it's you know, he confirmed it that he's not really into legacy. So that's why, you know, it's even with that being said though, bro, if you're chasing the big checks, dog, why in the world are you fighting Lamont Roach? Because that press conference was boring. Why not fight the guys that's gonna give you the most money then, bro? Like, I mean, Lamont Roach is not a big money fight. Matter of fact, if I'm being honest, the only big money fight that you've had, well, nah, I will say Frank Martin did some good numbers, so I'll give him Frank Martin. But Ryan Garcia, you know what I'm saying? Besides, I mean, and I don't even know if Rolly, maybe Rolly, maybe. I don't know, maybe. But you know, I don't know. It's sad to hear that, man. Like, I'm kind of disappointed as a Tank Davis fan. I'm kind of disappointed because, you know, I went to war with so many people over Tank, man. But you know, it is what it is, man. You know, I've always been honest on my channel. I always called Tank out on stuff that I didn't like, to the point where people thought I didn't like Tank. But I'm just honest with my favorite fighters. So, you know, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. What do you think about Tank Davis? Do you believe him? Do you really think he's going to retire? If so, do you think he's a Hall of Famer? But what do I know?